أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, the most merciful, Allah Almighty stated in Quran,
ما يأتيهم من رسول إلا كانوا به يستهزئون. غالباً مردم
generally people were against the prophets and the pious people, and they were against those who made efforts and spent their time for guiding people, and people could not stand them. Yet they were to save people from different types of problems, family problems, economical problems, political problems, and social problems. However, prophets, righteous people, infallibles, and those who were the followers of prophets and fallibles tried to spend their time to save and guide people. Yet people could not stand them at all. People used to accuse them, humiliate them, bother them. Holy Quran mentioned this point, this great verse. It says, God feels pity for those who humiliate and bother their prophets. And Allah Almighty, in this holy verse, did not consider an exception. He means that all prophets were humiliated by people. All prophets who were legitimate and those who were looking for truth and those who wanted to guide people, they were all humiliated. They were accused. People made problems for them, let alone the other wrongdoings. Even the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, the word kazab means the one who lies too much. Kazab is someone who is a liar, but if he lies too much, he would be called kazab. Prophet said, those who lie have lied about me much. They were the infidels, and some of them were the hypocrites. Hypocrites are those who pretend to be Muslims, those who used to pray and fast. They pretended that they believed in Islam, but they used to lie about Prophet of Islam. Different lies, different accusations. They used to bother him in different ways. Prophet used to be in Mecca for about 13 years, and after Hijrah, he used to be in Medina for about 10 years. He had to deal with people who used to be both infidels and hypocrites, and they did not believe in Prophet yet. They used to humiliate, accuse, and lie about Prophet. And those who also call themselves Muslims and were among the hypocrites. It means they pretended to be Muslims, they pretended to be praying and fasting, they pretended to be serving the Prophet, but deep in their hearts they were infidels and they did not believe in Islam. Even it is stated in Quran that in one of the wars when Prophet won the battle and hypocrites fled and ran away, they gathered the war trophies and put them away, and then Prophet came and divided them. Among those trophies, there was a red cloth and it got lost. One of the infidels took it and hid it. All were looking for it, and the very infidel lied and said that Prophet took the cloth. They knew that Prophet even used to give away his own food to poor, and he used to sleep in hunger. And they even knew about the condition of his house. He used to rest in a room half made with mat and half made with sand. It was not covered with carpet. It was almost about 3 meters. They knew about it, all this. But they still accuse Prophet of theft. It created problem among Muslims. Allah Almighty revealed the verse, Prophet does not steal. There was no Prophet who used to steal. And Allah did not want to reveal the hypocrite's crime, for Allah do not reveal anyone's crime. God waits for those who are not bad to be good. He who also waits for those who are bad to let anyone No, they're bad. Quran said the one who stole will emerge with what he has stolen so that everyone knows who the thief is. They used to bother him in any possible ways. This is the way of reformation, the divine reformation. This is the path of divine guidance. This is the path of saving people who are related to God. And this is for everyone, even it is for the great religious experts if you check the history. A religious expert who was appointed to reform and save the community, he was also accused, humiliated, and bothered. I can name Mirza Muhammad Hassan Shirazi as an example. He, 1.5 centuries ago, in a time which English or colonization entered Iran, and they brought many people from among genius, engineers, both men and women, and it has been written in history 100,000 English people entered Iran, and Iran at that time did not have 10 million people. It had less than 10 million people, and economical, social, political reporters and experts entered Iran under the excuse of making business with tobacco. The tobacco both for hookah and cigarette. For Iran had many fields perfect for growing tobacco. They came to take those fields. They came to Iran under the excuse of making business with tobacco. But it was just a cover, an excuse. They started making a huge building in both Tehran and Shiraz and many other cities. In every city, every village, they made many schools and let both boys and girls enter those schools. And they preached Christianity for them. They built corrupted places for boys and girls. They invited teenagers and young people to corruption. Late Mirza Muhammad Hassan Shirazi in Samarra issued a verdict which said that smoking and using tobacco is like fighting against Imam Mahdi, may God hasten his advent. And he meant it for that time. He did not mean that tobacco was haram and religiously illegal. No, it is not illegal. But considering those conditions, he issued a verdict for that specific time. No one should think tobacco is haram. No, it is not haram, but since it made a colonization movement, he, to stand against the movement, issued the verdict that time. One-line verdict truly changed the condition of England at that time. A country which, as history says, millions of people used to support it. China, as its colony, had about more than 600 million people, and the other one was India, which had 400 million people. The verdict destroyed all of them, and they killed the oldest son of Mirza Shirazi overnight in his house, so that Mirza would stop what he was going to do out of fear. It is written that the oldest son of Mirza, may God bless him, was a religious expert, a true believer, a true pious man, and he could be a jurist after his father. And the other thing they did, Englishmen in Iran, published everywhere, in every village, in every city. They even published announcements that Mirza Shirazi was related to colonizers. They said that Mirza, the one who was fighting colonizers, is a colonizer himself. Why did they do this? To prevent righteous men from leading people to the right path and prosperity. To stop people who are close to God, who are the followers of Ahlul Bayt. They continued this to fulfill the purpose. And Mirza Shirazi, may God bless him, bearing all the accusations and torments, continued his efforts, and all English people left Iran that time. And England, considering thousands of reporters, left the country. He was patient, he tolerated everything. God promises victory for prophets and those who follow the prophets, and Mirza Shirazi won the battle and he freed Iran from the colonizers. Holy Quran says, we promise both prophets and the believers success and victory. Believers who follow God and prophets, they will be given victory both in this world and hereafter. Righteous men, believers, those who follow the divine path must hope for God and they must not get tired from troubles, problems, and humiliations, for eventually victory will be theirs. I hope God gives this opportunity to those who are truly following the Ahlul Bayt. May God bless Muhammad and his descendants.
مرحمت بفرما. صلی الله علی محمد و آله الطاهرین.